Titan the gentle Rottweiler was so large that his shadow covered half the rug whenever the window let morning sun spill into the living room. Despite muscles that rippled like rolling hills, he moved with a patient grace, careful never to knock over the potted fern that Mom loved. Today a cardboard kennel sat by the front door, rattling softly like a drum filled with secrets and puppy breath. Titan lowered his nose, inhaling the new scent of warm milk and sawdust that clung to young fur. A squeak rose from inside, tinier than a cricket's song yet filled with bold curiosity, and Titan's ears perked like twin radar dishes. Dad opened the latch, and out tumbled a cinnamon-brown puppy whose paws still looked too large for his wobbly legs. The family laughed, but Titan stayed serious, sensing the fragile trust glowing in those marble-brown puppy eyes. He remembered his own first day long ago, when every hallway seemed longer than a river, and every cupboard door sounded like thunder. The puppy gazed up, neck craning, as if Titan were a mountain topped with clouds shaped like dreams. Mom knelt to stroke Titan's collar and whispered that the pup would be called Peanut because he was small enough to fit in Dad's hand. Titan gave a slow, courteous tail wag, a royal greeting from the dog who already guarded this household like a silent knight. He stepped back to give Peanut room, understanding that bravery often grows fastest in open spaces. Peanut sniffed Titan's toes, sneezed, and then bounced back in surprise, sending the family into another round of laughter. Titan's deep chest rumbled with a low chuckle, a sound somewhere between a purr and a distant train, promising there was nothing to fear. The scent of warm pancakes drifted from the kitchen, weaving a ribbon of welcome through the air. Titan gently nudged Peanut toward the smell, silently explaining that breakfast was the first family ritual a dog should learn. Sunbeams painted gold stripes across the floorboards, forming a shining runway for their very first walk together. Peanut toddled along, ears flapping like tiny flags, while Titan kept pace at half speed, so the distance never felt impossible. As they reached the kitchen doorway, Peanut glanced back and saw Titan's encouraging nod, as if saying, "You belong here too." In that quiet moment, the promise of brotherhood sparked between Giant and Runt, brighter than any morning light the house had ever seen. After breakfast, Titan guided Peanut through the house like a tour guide, pausing at each doorway to explain its purpose with a soft huff. The living room, he showed, was for calm tales and gentle paws because glass shelves held fragile memories. Peanut listened, eyes wide, as Titan brushed the carpet with his tail, marking a safe lane between sofa and table. The gentle sweep created an invisible path that even clumsy paws could follow without fear. Next, they entered the laundry room where the washer roared like a waterfall. Titan stood firm so Peanut saw the noise could not bite. When the machine clanged, Peanut jumped, but Titan simply yawned, proving courage is contagious. The calm gesture landed like a blanket over Peanut's shaky heart. They met the hallway mirror where Peanut barked at his reflection until Titan nudged him, hinting that twins in glass are harmless. Titan touched the mirror again, showing true threats never copy you. Reflections teach self-respect. At the stairs, Titan lay across the first step and wagged a caution. Small legs must strengthen before tall climbs, just as trees grip earth before reaching sky. Peanut tapped Titan's ear in protest, yet the big dog held position, teaching patience without words. A squeal outside caught both ears. Titan pointed his nose toward the sliding door, where kids played tag on shining grass. The wide lawn gleamed after last night's rain, reflecting clouds like silver fish. He barked once, low and calm, warning that human pups need wagging tails, not chasing teeth. Peanut pressed his snout to the glass and watched a soccer ball bounce like a giant treat, body quivering with every kick, his claws scraping tiny question marks on the sill. Titan let him stare, knowing curiosity grows roots before discipline sprouts leaves. When Dad slid the door open, Titan walked out first, posture tall, reminding Peanut to wait for permission. The nod came. Peanut raced into sunlight while Titan paced behind him, four-legged safety fence. Children cheered, and each giggle fluttered through Titan's ears like bright birds. Peanut tripped over the ball, rolled twice, then grinned, while Titan bark laughed, proving mistakes are allowed. Under the old oak, Titan performed a perfect sit, ears forward, chest proud, modeling manners like a patient coach instructing a new recruit. Peanut copied him crookedly, tail thumping dirt, applause sealing the lesson sweeter than treats. As noon heat rose, Titan led the yawning pup back inside, already planning tomorrow's lesson. The next dawn painted the sky coral in gold as Titan woke Peanut with a nudge that smelled faintly of dew-damp grass. Today's lesson, he decided, would be about house manners, the invisible glue that keeps a family happy. Titan began with a water bowl, showing how to lap quietly so drops did not splash onto freshly mopped tiles. Peanut copied, tongue flicking, but after 3 gulps he sneezed water everywhere, prompting Titan to chuckle yet stay on topic. They moved to the food corner, where Titan waited until Mom set both bowls down, teaching that patience earns more than barking demands. Peanut trembled while the aroma of chicken drifted upward, yet he mirrored Titan's stillness, discovering the dignity in self-control. When Mom said, "Okay," Titan dipped his head slowly, chewing each kibble as though time itself tasted better when savored. Peanut tried the same pace, though crumbs fell from his mouth like hailstones, but Titan nodded approval, because effort matters more than style. After breakfast, Titan retrieved a worn tennis ball, not to play fetch but to demonstrate the art of giving things back once taken. He held the ball gently between giant jaws, then placed it at Dad's feet, ears perked for praise that came like warm rain. Dad tossed it to Peanut. The pup chased, but Titan's soft bark made him return and surrender the ball, proving trust works both ways. Next came the cat, Princess Whiskers, lounging on the sunny windowsill like a queen of beams. Titan bowed his head to her, signaling respect, while Peanut froze, instinct telling him to pounce yet curiosity whispering otherwise. Princess flicked her tail once, a royal decree, and Titan licked Peanut's ear, translating the silent command into puppy language. As a reward, Princess purred, the sound vibrating the air like a cello note, convincing Peanut that different doesn't mean dangerous. Titan then led the pup to the baby's room, where soft blankets smelled of milk and lullabies. He lay down by the crib, eyes half closed, demonstrating how guardianship sometimes means being as still as a statue, so dreams remain undisturbed. Peanut imitated, muzzle on paws, and listened to the baby's tiny breaths, realizing protection can be silent yet strong. Mom peeked in, saw the scene, and whispered that Titan was the best teacher she'd ever met, causing his tail to thump modestly against the carpet. Peanut's eyes shone like polished buttons, and in that shine bloomed a promise to honor every lesson carved into his growing heart. On the 3rd day, Titan announced, with a playful bow, that it was time for an adventure beyond the fence line. Dad clipped sturdy leashes to both collars, and the clicks sounded like the unlocking of fresh horizons. The sidewalk shimmered after dawn's sprinkler mist, and Peanut hopscotched through puddles while Titan strode like a captain beside a tiny sailor. Cars whooshed past, wind tugging ears backward, but Titan barely blinked, teaching calm in the face of roaring metal beasts. At every crossing, Titan halted, planting paws until the light changed, instilling the rule that safety starts with stillness. Peanut mirrored him, though his bottom quivered, and when the walk sign flashed white, they marched forward in heroic unison. A mail carrier approached, big bag swinging, and Titan sat, tail thumping politely, showing that strangers often bring letters, not danger. Peanut sniffed the air, nose twitching at the scent of envelopes and fresh ink, then copied Titan's friendly wag, earning a cheerful pat. They reached Maple Park, where dew-bright grass stretched like a green sea under a sky the color of hope. Titan guided Peanut to the dog's must-be-leashed sign, tapping it with his nose to translate park law into puppy code. Inside the gate, Dad unclipped them, and Titan waited for Peanut to enter first, proving leaders sometimes walk behind. Dozens of dogs romped, tails flying like banners. Titan watched, measuring which playmates were gentle enough for a newcomer. He chose a gray beagle who bowed an invitation, and together they formed a triangle around Peanut, turning the unknown into a friendly game. Peanut's confidence inflated like a parade balloon, and he chased leaves tossed by the breeze, yipping victories at every turn. Titan joined the chase, only to herd Peanut away from a roughhousing retriever, reminding him that courage must walk with caution. After playtime, Dad whistled, and Titan trotted over first, showcasing perfect recall before Peanut bounded up, eager to match. Dad praised them both and clipped the leashes back on, the metallic click sounding like a period ending a joyful sentence. On the walk home, Titan set a slower pace, explaining through rhythm that hearts need cool-down time, just like muscles. They passed the bakery, and sweet smells swirled around them. Titan ignored the crumbs on the sidewalk, modeling restraint in temptation's breeze. When the porch finally appeared, Peanut's steps matched Titan's steady stride, proving adventures are the best classrooms. Storm clouds rolled in that evening, turning the sky the color of bruised plums, and Titan sensed a different kind of lesson approaching. Peanut spotted the first flash of lightning and darted under the dining table, shaking like a leaf caught in a wind tunnel. Titan followed, lowering his vast frame onto the rug, making himself small so the puppy's panic would not feel alone. Thunder boomed, rattling windows, yet Titan merely blinked, demonstrating that noise loses power when courage refuses to echo it. He placed a paw over Peanut's back, steady and warm, the way a blanket anchors sheets against restless dreams. Mom dimmed the lights and turned on soft music, and Titan's tail thumped in slow rhythm, sinking the room to a calmer heartbeat. Peanut's trembling eased enough for Titan to guide him out from under the table, one step at a time, like coaxing sunlight through clouds. They settled by the couch where Dad produced a special chew toy scented with lavender, a smell Titan associated with peace. Titan took a gentle bite then passed it to Peanut, teaching that sharing comfort doubles its strength. Another thunderclap cracked. Peanut flinched but did not flee, eyes darting to Titan's serene face for instructions. Titan yawned, a giant silent sigh, and rested his chin on crossed paws, signaling that storms pass whether feared or faced. Peanut copied the posture, ears still twitching, but his breathing slowed until it matched Titan's steady inhale-exhale song. Outside, rain hammered the roof, yet inside the family chatted about breakfast plans and lost remotes, turning doom into normal noise. Titan listened, showing Peanut that family voices can outsing thunder when everyone joins the choir of calm. The lights flickered. Titan glanced at Mom, who smiled, and that exchange, brief as a blink, taught Peanut to read trust in quiet gestures. Soon the storm drifted away, leaving only pattering drops like applause fading in a theater after a good show. Titan stood, stretched, and shook rain-brushed air from his fur even though he was dry, inviting Peanut to do the same symbolic reset. The puppy complied, shaking off leftover fear like water, and wagged his tail for the first time since the clouds arrived. Dad praised them both with scratchy rubs behind the ears, and Titan's rumble of approval told Peanut that bravery earns gentle rewards. By bedtime, Peanut trotted into his crate without hesitation, secure in the knowledge that even storms could be teachers when guided by a wise friend. Weeks passed and Peanut's legs grew stronger, his once floppy ears now standing like little satellite dishes eager for every signal. Titan decided it was time for the ultimate quiz, guarding the house while Mom and Dad ran errands. The humans loaded the car, waved goodbye, and left Titan as captain with Peanut as first mate in a sea of quiet responsibilities. Titan patrolled the hallway with measured steps, showing Peanut how to listen for real threats and ignore harmless creaks. A breeze nudged the front door, making it groan, and Peanut barked an alarm, voice squeaking like a rusty hinge. Titan placed a calming paw on Peanut's shoulder, then demonstrated a deep warning woof, steady, controlled, and just loud enough to say, "We are home." Satisfied, they settled by the window where sparrows pecked at the feeder, wings fluttering like living confetti against a sky of perfect blue. Titan taught the art of observation, watching without lunging, understanding without chasing. Peanut's tail quivered but stayed still, a small victory that felt bigger than any fetched ball. Suddenly the mail slot clanged, spitting envelopes onto the floor. Peanut bristled, unsure whether paper could bite. Titan trotted over, sniffed the letters, and carried them to the kitchen mat, teaching that duties change with context. He nudged Peanut to do the next part, and the puppy carefully picked up a lightweight flyer, delivering it with pride shining in his eyes. Afternoon sun meandered across the walls, and Titan announced nap time by curling into a donut shape, signaling balance between vigilance and rest. Peanut curled beside him, matching the spiral, and their breathing turned the living room into a peaceful metronome. A neighborhood dog barked outside, but Titan only flicked an ear, teaching that every call doesn't need an answer. Peanut copied the minimal response, learning that selective silence can be the loudest wisdom. Soon car tires crunched on gravel. Titan rose, tail wagging in measured arcs, while Peanut bounced like a spring released. Mom opened the door to find the mail sorted neatly and two dogs sitting proudly like statues carved from loyalty. She knelt, hugging them both, and whispered that the house felt safer than ever, words that puffed Titan's chest and lit Peanut's grin. As evening blankets fell, Titan glanced at Peanut and saw not just a student but a partner ready to share tomorrow's duties. Months later, the first autumn leaves drifted down, painting the yard in patches of amber and fire, and Mom decided it was family photo day. She set up a tripod under the maple while Dad adjusted the timer, and Titan took his position in the center like an anchor. Peanut trotted beside him, now taller and steadier, though still dwarfed by Titan's broad shoulders. The children gathered around, each resting a gentle hand on thick fur, forming a human canine circle of trust. Even Princess Whiskers perched on the porch rail, tail wrapped like a fuzzy question mark, granting a rare cameo. As the camera blinked its red light, Titan whispered one last coaching growl, reminding Peanut to sit tall and smile with his eyes. The shutter clicked, capturing a moment where giant and youngster mirrored each other so perfectly they looked like different chapters of the same story. After the photo, Dad unrolled a banner that read, "Welcome to the family, Peanut," and cheers filled the crisp air. Titan barked once, deep and proud, while Peanut spun in happy circles, his collar bell jingling like tiny applause. Mom presented matching bandanas, navy blue with white bones, and tied them around both necks, sealing their brotherhood in fabric. The afternoon became a carnival of celebrations, fetch games, belly rub lines, and extra treats hidden in the grass. Titan let Peanut win most races but still sprinted ahead once, teaching that generosity doesn't cancel friendly competition. At sunset, the two dogs sat on a hill behind the house, silhouettes against a sherbet sky, watching clouds drift like wandering sheep. Titan spoke in low rumbles about seasons changing and duties growing, and Peanut listened, ears perked to catch every golden word. The breeze carried the scents of wood smoke and distant pie, weaving the promise of winter nights spent by the hearth together. Peanut leaned against Titan's shoulder, and for the first time Titan leaned back, equal weight for equal trust. Stars pricked the darkening sky, and Titan pointed his nose upward, explaining that even the biggest dog is small beneath the universe. Peanut sighed with contentment, realizing that smallness felt safe when shared with someone enormous and kind. A final shooting star streaked across the heavens, and both dogs made the same silent wish to keep this family whole and happy. Down at the glowing windows, Mom called bedtime, and side by side the giant teacher and his once tiny student trotted home, their footsteps echoing one united heartbeat.